Ladies, have you ever caught a younger man smiling at you and thought, surely that's not meant for me? Or maybe you assumed he was just being polite. What if I told you there are real reasons younger men smile at older women, and they have nothing to do with manners? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might just see yourself in a whole new light. Tell me in the comments, when was the last time a younger man smiled at you? What did you assume it meant? Now let's talk about the 6 surprising reasons younger men are drawn to older women. Part 1. Aura of confidence. Let's start with confidence, the one thing that can truly transform the way you're perceived, no matter your age. When we're younger, we often struggle with self-doubt. We care too much about what others think, constantly wondering if we measure up. But by the time we reach our later years, something amazing happens. We stop worrying so much about others' opinions, and we start living for ourselves. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, built from experience, challenges, and personal growth. And what you might not realize is that this change isn't just visible to you. It's visible to everyone around you, including younger men. Confidence is magnetic. Younger men find it incredibly attractive when they see a woman who is completely comfortable in her own skin. It's not about being perfect or looking a certain way. It's about owning your space, whether that's at a social gathering, at work, or just walking down the street. You've learned over the years to speak your mind, to stand up for what you believe in, and to laugh at yourself when things go wrong. All of these little moments contribute to an energy that's undeniable. I can't tell you how many times I've seen younger men glance over at me, not because I was the youngest or the most fashionable woman in the room, but because they could sense something deeper. They could feel my confidence radiating. They noticed that I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone. It's often said that confidence is the best accessory a woman can wear. And trust me, it's true. It doesn't matter if you're 30 or 70, confidence has no age limit. When younger men see this confidence in an older woman, they recognize something they don't often see in their peers. Someone who knows her worth without needing validation. And that's why they smile at you. It's a smile of admiration. Part 2. A breath of fresh air. Now let's dive into something that might surprise you. Younger men are tired of the games. If you're someone who's been around the block a few times, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The endless texting games, the mixed signals, the waiting for someone to make the first move. It's all exhausting, but for younger men, this is the world they've grown up in. And let me tell you, it doesn't always come naturally. Younger. Women, often still navigating the complexities of relationships and trying to figure out what they want, sometimes play these games. They may send a text and then wait hours to respond, or they might act coy in a way that leaves a guy unsure of where he stands. But here's where we, as older women, have an edge. We've moved beyond that phase. When a younger man meets an older woman, he quickly realizes that she's not playing those same games. She knows exactly what she wants and isn't afraid to show it. There's no need to keep him guessing. If she likes him, she'll tell him. If she's not interested, she'll make that clear too. That authenticity is something that younger men often crave. They might not always admit it, but when they meet an older woman who is upfront, honest, and emotionally mature, they feel like they've just stepped into a breath of fresh air. I remember meeting a younger man at a party once. He was charming and obviously interested, but it wasn't until we started talking about our lives and experiences that he really seemed to relax. We chatted about everything: life, love, work. I wasn't trying to impress him or make myself seem more interesting than I was. I just let the conversation flow naturally, as if we were two people meeting for the first time, not worrying about what might come next. He smiled at me more than once during our chat, and I could tell he was genuinely enjoying the conversation, without any pressure or uncertainty hanging in the air. That smile? It wasn't just because I was older, it was because I was authentic. There was no facade, no pretending to be something I wasn't. and that was refreshing to him. For younger men, being with someone who isn't playing games or hiding behind social norms is a relief. They don't have to constantly second-guess themselves. They can just be. And that feeling? It's like a weight being lifted off their shoulders. So next time a younger man smiles at you, recognize that it might be because you've given him something that many younger women struggle with: clarity and authenticity. And let me tell you, that's a rare gift in today's world. Part 3. True Femininity. Let's talk about femininity, the kind that isn't based on the latest beauty, trends, makeup tutorials, or Instagram filters. True femininity is something that radiates from within, something that can only come with time and experience. When we're younger, we tend to focus on fitting into society's standards of beauty, wearing the right clothes, following the latest trends, or adhering to whatever version of femininity the media presents us with. But as we get older, something beautiful happens. We start to embrace our true selves, and that's when we tap into a deeper, more authentic form of femininity. For many younger men, this form of femininity is something they deeply admire but don't always understand. They may be used to seeing younger women who focus on outward appearances, what they wear, how they look in selfies, or how many likes they get on social media. But when they see an older woman who's confident and graceful, who knows how to carry herself without needing validation from anyone, something shifts. This deeper sense of femininity comes from a woman who is not only comfortable with herself, but who also exudes warmth, wisdom, and emotional intelligence. These aren't qualities that can be faked or easily replicated. They come from years of experience, from learning how to navigate the ups and downs of life with strength, dignity, and compassion. Younger men can't help but be drawn to this. They see a woman who carries herself with poise and self-respect, and that's something they don't see every day in their peer group. There's no pretension, no trying to fit into a mold. She is herself, and that authenticity is what makes her incredibly magnetic. This is what I mean by true femininity. It's not about trying to be someone you're not. It's about owning who you are, flaws and all, and embracing it with confidence. Younger men can feel this energy when they're around us. They don't need us to be perfect. They just need us to be real. And when we are, they can't help but smile, because they see something in us that's rare in today's world. Part 4. An unexpected mystery. Now let's talk about the intrigue, the curiosity that an older woman evokes in a younger man. You might not have realized it, but there's a certain mystery that surrounds you. And it's a mystery that younger men find irresistible. Younger men have grown up in a world where everything is overshared. Social media has created a culture where people share every detail of their lives, from what they ate for breakfast to their most intimate moments. But when they meet an older woman, they encounter someone who doesn't feel the need to reveal everything about herself. She's refined in what she shares, and there's a certain depth to her that makes them wonder what else lies beneath the surface. This sense of mystery is incredibly attractive to younger men, because it represents something they often don't: experience in their own age group. Younger people are still in the process of figuring themselves out, and while that's perfectly fine, it can also feel a bit predictable at times. When they encounter an older woman, however, they are faced with someone who has already lived a rich, full life. The stories she could tell, the lessons she's learned, the wisdom she's gained. These are all things that make them curious, and that curiosity often leads to a smile that says, "I want to know more about her." You don't have to say a word for this to be felt. Simply by being yourself, by existing with a certain level of grace and mystique, you become an enigma that younger men want to solve. I've had moments when younger men have approached me, and I could see the wheels turning in their heads. They don't ask all the questions right away, but I can tell they're trying to figure out what I've experienced, what I've learned, and why I carry myself the way I do. This curiosity is one of the most powerful attractions an older woman has. on a younger man. It's the reason they smile at us, not because we're trying to be something we're not, but because we hold something they can't quite put their finger on. A mystery that makes us stand out in a world full of oversharing and instant gratification. So, when you catch a younger man smiling at you, recognize that it's more than just a fleeting glance. It's a reflection of his interest, his fascination with the woman you are, and the rich life you've lived. And trust me, there's a lot more to you than meets the eye. Part 5. Life Experience and Wisdom. Now, let's talk about life experience, something that can't be bought, borrowed, or faked. It's earned over time, through a lifetime of moments, both good and bad. And let me tell you, younger men recognize this value in older women more than they might express. Think about it. Every line on your face, every silver strand of hair, every wrinkle that marks the journey of your life tells a story. Those stories are full of wisdom, lessons, and knowledge that only time can provide. While younger men may be navigating their own journey, they're still learning, still making mistakes, still trying to figure out how to make it all work. But when they look at you, they see someone who has been through it all, someone who knows how to handle life's challenges, who has faced hardships and come out stronger, who has lived through the highs and lows and still carries herself with grace and dignity. It's this accumulated wisdom that draws younger men in. They can feel the depth of experience behind your words, and they respect it. They're not just looking for someone who looks great, they're looking for someone who can teach them, inspire them, and show them how to navigate life with a sense of balance and perspective. I can remember several conversations with younger men where they were just so eager to hear my stories about love, about mistakes, about moments of growth. They could tell I wasn't just speaking from a place of theory, but from lived experience. There's a different kind of strength in someone who has lived long enough to know that not everything is as it seems, to recognize that not every setback is permanent, and to understand that wisdom isn't something you can rush. When younger men smile at you, they see someone who has lived and learned, someone who can offer them a perspective that they might not yet have. And that's why they find it so compelling. They're drawn to the depth that only a woman with experience can offer. Part 6. The Power of Independence. Finally, let's talk about independence, a quality that not only comes with age, but is also a major turn-on for younger men. It's the kind of independence that isn't about doing everything alone or pushing people away, but rather about being self-sufficient, emotionally stable, and confident in your own ability to take care of yourself. When we're younger, we often find ourselves leaning on others for emotional support, financial help, or validation. But as we get older, we begin to understand that true independence is a gift, not just to ourselves, but to those around us as well. We know how to handle our own affairs, make our own decisions, and pursue our own passions without needing someone to hold our hand through it all. This kind of independence is incredibly attractive to younger men because, frankly, it's rare. They've often grown up in a world where relationships are built around dependence, where expectations of one another can sometimes be unrealistic or based on neediness. But when they meet an older woman who is fully independent, it's like a breath of fresh air. This independence shows them that you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're already complete, and that's an incredibly powerful message. You have your own life, your own goals, and your own sense of purpose. And when you don't need someone to fill that space, it creates a dynamic where your relationship can be built on mutual respect and admiration, not on dependence. For younger men, this is a refreshing change. They don't feel pressured or expected to act a certain way. They can simply be themselves, knowing that you won't rely on them to validate your self-worth or solve all your problems. Instead, you're both free to enjoy each other's company without the weight of unrealistic expectations. And that, my dear, is what makes younger men smile at you. They see your strength and self-sufficiency, and they respect it. They recognize that an independent woman isn't just a force to be reckoned with. She's someone who knows how to live life on her own terms. and that's a quality that never goes out of style. Now tell me, has this changed the way you see yourself? Let's talk in the comments, and before you go, make sure you're subscribed because I have so many more eye-opening insights to share with you. Also, if you want more wisdom straight to your inbox, sign up for my Savvy Senior newsletter. The link is in the description. Until next time, stay radiant and embrace every smile that comes your way.